church, and I am on the way to get something to eat with my family. But I wanted to come and talk about something because usually I'm not always able to go to church because I usually work on Sundays. I went this Sunday, and the message was about communication and community. It was talking about making sure the people that are around you and you communicate with are helping you grow. But it reminded me of just being on this channel, looking for people, new friends who love to read like I do, love to read the books that I love to read, and want to talk about it and kiki. I'm trying to talk to y'all, and my husband called me twice. Now, I'm like, the first time, I'm like, I'll call him right back, because, like, I'm trying to have a conversation. Second time, I'm like, okay, either something's wrong, or he can't find something. So, I called him back, I'm like, hey, you called me? He's like, yeah, I was just calling to see, if you cool with me eating the rest of your pizza, because this is your piece. And I'm just like, yes, it's fine. It's so sweet, though. Because, like, it's nothing worse than, like, coming home and having your mouth fixed on something you got at the house, and then getting home and it being all gone. And then whoever ate it be like, oh, my bad. I ain't think you wanted it. Them's fighting words for real. Them make you want to fight. So, I just wanted to come to y'all and just make sure I express myself and say, like, how happy I am to be creating this YouTube channel. And my husband asked me, like, what is your goal with this? And I'm just like I say at the end of my videos, like, I just want friends to talk to laugh with, to kiki with, to discuss books, to share books. Like, I want y'all to tell me what y'all like. I want to tell y'all what I like, how I felt in those moments, and just, like, have community. You have to, like, outsource and, find your people. So, that's something that I think that I want to do with this channel. So I hope and I pray that I do find my people and we connect, and, we enjoy each other's company. Y'all come see me. We could chat. All that good stuff. But yeah, I just want to come. I have to go because I've lived in this city for most of my life, and I promise you, I don't know where nothing is. So I need to get on my GPS again. So I did finish the 107 Days by Kamala Harris yesterday, and that book was so good. Like, I'm gonna go out and buy that book as soon as I get a chance. I read it on the Libby app. Actually, I listened to it because I found out that she read the book herself. So I always love when they do that. So I decided to do the audiobook, and it finally came through on Libby. I did it like as soon as the book came out, and it's been what, months? It's been months, and I was just able to read it. Actually, I need to go ahead and give it back to Libby so somebody else can read it. But yes, the book was amazing. I don't know what I expected going into it because I didn't listen to anything pertaining to the book because I knew I wanted to read it. I didn't want anything to get spoiled for me. And I kind of wanted to experience it, you know, without anybody's thoughts in my head, even hers. Like, I don't want to hear her talk about the book until after I read it, because it was a great book. And it really went through the 107 days throughout that book. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was surprised when she did that. But the book was so good, and it wasn't long at all. She really got to the points in the book, but there was some things that I wrote down as some key takeaways. Reading the book, like I said, it was amazing. It gave me all the feels that I had during that time, where I was really, really excited, ecstatic to see it happening. And then I started getting frustrated. I started getting pissed off. And then I started feeling like the strength that it takes for women, especially Black women, to just persevere and keep going. And then election night, all those feelings came back, like the disappointment, the anger that I felt. And that's just me, like, looking on the outside in as a voter. But having her tell me how she experienced it, it made me so, I had so many emotions. I don't know if it was anger. I was angered, but I was also so deeply disappointed. And I just, like, reading that book, I knew what was going to happen, but I still just wished it was something different. And then, like, one of the things that I wrote down is when she was called and told, like, hey, sis, this it's not looking good. We're going to lose. And, like, the first thing she said was, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to our country? Like, she went through so much during that time. Like, she really broke it down and explained how, she got rushed into this whole entire situation, but she was still able to maintain, like, her base. She was able to get new people. She was able to raise so much money. Like, so many people believed in her, and she was able to withstand you know who, and all the vitriol, all the like, weird things that he would do in order to, you know, stop her from progressing. And the other thing that I thought, we all kind of knew, but the other thing that I thought was interesting that she wrote about was how people within her own team were not helping her as well. Like, she talks about Joe Biden and how he would do certain stuff that would hurt her campaign, and she would, instead of, like, doing her thing, she would have to go back and, like, right some of his wrongs with stuff. She talked about when he put on that hat, she had to go back and do that. She talked about when he was going to announce that he was going to step down, and then she was going to run, or he was going to nominate her to run. He was like, I'm going to step down, but then I'm going to wait a couple of days and then, you know, support you. And she was like, why would you wait a couple of days? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you need to do it immediately. Like, I mean, it was so many things that I could not understand why he was doing it. And the only thing that I thought was, like, I don't know, like, is he trying to help her, or is he trying to hurt her? Like, it, and also what it made me think of, and I recently read Harlem Rhapsody too. What those two, like Harlem Rhapsody and 107 Days, what they were like similar in ways that it made me realize how, like, brilliant, intelligent, smart, capable women, like, sometimes the men in their lives, they give them chances and opportunities to show up for them and to support them, and they just cannot do it. And it's so disappointing to watch, because there was moments in Harlem Rhapsody where I'm like, girl, you have got to like listen to some form of reason. Like, he is not helping you like you want him to, or you think that he is. Like, you are so much better than the circumstances that you put yourself in. And then for this book, it's like she was such a force, like such a presence, and he needed her. To me, he needed her more than I felt like she ever needed him on that campaign. Like, I mean, like, he was doing the silliest stuff, and like she's sitting there like, what are you doing? It was just so frustrating, because I'm like, girl, just drop him, forget him completely. And she talks like extensively about her loyalty to him and all this stuff. And like, it seemed like at a certain point, people were like, girl, people, she said it, people hate Joe Biden. Please stop. Somebody had to beg her to stop talking about him. And like, I really wish she would. In hindsight, is 2020, because at the end of the book, she realizes some of the stuff that she did that was harmful to her, and that she probably could have done better. And I think that was one of the things that she wishes that she could have done better. Sorry, that was my dog. But let me see. I'm trying to think of what else. Let me look at my notes. So the other thing she mentioned, and I don't think I sat down and really realized it, but she talked about how she was like up against such a feat, because I think people forgot that she was still the vice president and also running the campaign to eventually be the president of the United States, but also running that campaign in 107 days. So she's doing like all this work that takes years to do in 107 days, also while being the VP and handling all the things that were going on in the world during that time. So she talks about the stress that she was under, how she had to really, really rely on her team. And in some ways, it was like a love letter to her team, because she spoke so highly of them. Like, it was times in the campaign to where she realized she couldn't be everywhere, so she really had to rely on her team to like give her briefings and to let her know what was going on and what key points to touch on when she was going to meetings. And of course there were hiccups, like, and there were points where she talked about she talked about an interview that she was in. I forgot who it was with, but she sat in the interview and they talked about something completely different that she was not prepared for. And she felt like if her team would have gave her a briefing on it, she would have knocked it out the park, but they didn't. And she talks about how like she's listening, and then she writes a note down like, what the F, like, y'all was supposed to give me these notes, what happened? And then she said that behind the scenes her team was looking at each other like like, my bad, sis. So she talks about things like that. But the book really, I think sometimes people didn't think she had much of a personality, but if you read the book, she most certainly had a personality, and she was very much so like hilarious. Like, I had some laugh out loud moments. I want to read like a couple. Trump was talking about her, saying that she wasn't black, and then they were trying to like figure out how they were going to respond to her or respond to him. And then she's talking to one of the people in her team, and he's like saying like, we need to say something immediately back, and things like that. And then she says, he lies all the time. He throws out outrageous statements to deflect from the issue. Today he wants me to prove my race. What's next? He'll say I'm not a woman and I need to show my vagina. And I was like, oh. I thought that was hilarious. And then she was talking about how she was calling Tim Walz to tell him that she wanted him to be her VP and running mate. And she said, Tim is such a freaking down-to-earth dude. He was at the house chilling. She kept calling him, and you know, she's like calling from like a private number, so it's showing up as unknown caller on his thing, on his phone. So he like, I don't know nobody with no unknown caller. So he kept forwarding her calls. So she had to call somebody who was like, please tell him to pick up the phone. It's me. So I thought that was hilarious. Okay, So one of the last couple key points in the book that I wanted to reference was she mentioned that after the election happened, after everything, all of that happened, she put in the book, it was two of the trending searches after the election was, and this is a kicker, what is a tariff and can I change my vote? Rage. Think about how big of her she is to do all of this stuff. She did all this election. She tried to save y'all. Like, we did our part. But she tried to save these people and it fell through. And that was the two trending searches after the election. Y'all, when she talked about, because I was so curious, because I was there the whole time. I wasn't there in the yard, but I was like watching the newscast, waiting for her to come out. And you know, she never came out. She came out the next day. And I was thinking, like, what is going through that lady's head? What's going through that lady's head? All for us to realize that the first thing she said out of her mouth, the first thing that she thought of is what is going to happen to this country. Not like, damn, I lost, like, I can't believe, like, not anger, like, us mere mortals. Like, she was thinking bigger than just herself. But she talks about how sad she was. She even mentioned that her and her husband, like, they did not talk about election night until she sat down to write that book, because it was so traumatizing. Actually, she said, what did she say? She said she talked about how traumatizing the election night was. And I cannot, like, for me, I was traumatized, but I can only imagine for her. And then, like, reading this book brought up feelings of when Hillary Clinton ran, and I knew for sure, for a fact, that lady was going to win. Just to be disappointed. There's a few moments in my life that I've ever felt that big of a disappointment, and that was the biggest. Like, both times for her and Kamala, like, I wanted to cry. That's how, like, serious I took it. And me, like, my first vote casted for a president was Barack Obama. So that is like a real, like, that's a stunt, you know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. And then this happens. It's like you get the really high highs and then the really, really, really low lows. But that book was amazing. Like, it really speaks to the strength of women and Black women, and of her to take on this big, huge feat, and got so close, so very close. And, you know, it turns out the way it did. But also coming back and, like, continuing to speak positivity, continuing. She ended the book, what did she say? The last words of the book was, let us not throw up our hands, but roll up our sleeves. After all of that, she still maintains such an elegance, such a like a love for the country and for the people, that she doesn't want us to give up. She wants us to continue to fight, because we have to. Like, we don't have any other choice. Where if it was me and I did all of that and that's the way it turned out, when I tell you I'm moving, y'all got it. But this is why she is a role model. She is an icon. She is a trendsetter. She is that girl. And this book just had, like, I already had a high level of respect for her, but it really, like, the things she's accomplished, the things that she went through, she's just an amazing person, and she seems like very salt of the earth, really like a homegirl, like somebody you could talk to, but is also very smart and will get you together on multiple different ways. But I loved the book so freaking much. Like, I can't wait to read it again. And it kind of fell in line with Black History Month and Women's History Month. So if you have not read the book yet, please read the book, at least for Women's History Month, because I learned so much. I gained so much respect, even more than I already had. And it's definitely something that you can go back to draw like motivation, to draw guidance from a lot. She had some great quotes in there. Like I said, it was funny. It was sad at points, with different things, but it was also like very telling, and really made you reflect on not only like what the things that she went through, but also makes you reflect on like some of the things that you may be experiencing in your life, where you have somebody that you feel like you owe an immense like gratitude to, but they also might be doing harm to you. So maybe you do need to step back in certain avenues, like still respect them, still love them, but also, know their role in your life. So I felt like this was an amazing, 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 amazing read. I love her so freaking much, love her down. And I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. Like I said, I don't have the book. I got it on Libby, and I'm definitely going to go buy the book for sure. Actually, shame on me for not buying it as soon as it came out. So my phone had a malfunction or whatever, but I hope that I got everything that I wanted to say in that video. But that was it. I just wanted to share what I read this week. I don't know what I'm reading next. I don't know what's going to follow that. Feel bad for that book. The 107 Days was so good, but like I said, I really, really, really just wanted to let y'all know how good that book was. And if you didn't read it, go read it. That's it for me. I hope you guys come back and subscribe, like, comment, talk about the book, talk about something else. I want to show y'all my new bookshelf that I'm so excited about. It's very beautiful. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying. And I am Lacey.